What's up guys, today let's take a look at Stone Arena King of Fighter 98 Ultimate Match Goro Daimon. This is the first figure that released in the Stone Arena's King of Fighter line, and it has been a really long time. I think it has been over a year since they announced the King of Fighter line, and finally we got the first one. I know a lot of people are, in general, Street Fighter is more popular compared to King of Fighters, but I am much more of a King of Fighter fan compared to Street Fighter because I like the character design and also like how it plays. And this figure is, you know what, I think it maintains the similar high quality of the Stone Arena line. There's still something I don't particularly like in terms of design, but overall it is a pretty sweet figure. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. First, let's take a look at the figure. I think it is a really nice recreation of Shinkaro's artwork. The face, of course, is really well done as per Stone standard. They're really nice, really good at making muscle dude. Of course, the muscle is very well done as per usual. Of course, compared to his in-game art, I think the trap is not as exaggerated, and also the chest looks a bit smaller because they have to cut out a part of it as butterfly joint, but it is a understandable compromise. Although I do think his skin tone might be a bit too light because as far as I can remember, he usually depicted as more like a reddish skin tone or some sort of tan, right? This is probably what he is going to look like in real life, if he is a real, that is. But yeah, compared to the in-game artwork, he is a bit too white. So yeah, the muscle definition is, per usual, pretty well done. You have to remember that Daimon is a judo practitioner, so he doesn't really have that sort of really bulking muscle, right? He's sort of a mix with really good muscle and body fat, and I think this is a pretty accurate depiction. Let's take a look at the pants. I think it has a little bit of shading. Yeah, you can see the shadow around it. Of course, the cheeks and the feet and the Gita. Yeah, for the price, this is a really nice looking figure. Of course, all our figures are, especially dude, of course. Yeah. Oh, the joint is huge. We're going to talk a little bit about the knee joint in the articulation section. You know what, this is a good segue. I think we have taken a good look at Daimon, so let's take a look at how he moves. The head can look all the way up. Look down is limited, and you can see how big of a gap there is, right? Tilt is also good, but once again, really big gap. And rotation. Shoulder, their typical butterfly joint, and with the combination of the soft chest, you can get really good butterfly range. As per usual, it only goes forward though. Going back is pretty much nothing. And this is a ball joint here, so you've got some extra range. You can raise over 90 degrees, but very ugly gapping. So in order to avoid that, put it right here, and it's about 90 degrees. Oh, and the hairband is super loose. Okay, there's zero attention here, retention here, so you have to be careful not to lose it. Okay, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. From the side, it's not very good looking, but at least it's functional. And look, here is okay. Ball hinge wrist, this is a separate piece. Okay, now the torso articulation is we're going to spend some time talking about them here, okay? Crunching forward, really limited. Crunching back, also pretty limited. Side, only a little. And rotation. You might wonder why. Let's see. See the ring around the ball joint here? It really limited the ball joint range, okay? Like you can see how much range there should be, but limited by the, this is here to prevent the ball joint from popping off, but I don't think it is necessary, okay? And also you can see this extra piece is not really needed, because when you are like doing the maximum crunching back, it is about here, okay? So even though like if you remove all the extra piece here, when you're crunching back to the maximum, it's going to be a little bit gap, but I don't think that's a big deal, okay? And when trying to crunch forward, this here will collide with this hard plastic here. And this is another reason why you cannot really crunch forward. So I think for a experienced company like Stone Collectible, they should figure this kind of stuff out, but apparently not. And also, let's see the waist joint. They're using the hinge again, and as you can see, also very little range. Like, why? They could just cut the, you know what, let's do everything. Back also limited, side limited, and rotation. So the whole torso area just limited for no good reason. They should cut it around here, like the upper abdominal section, instead of doing something like this. Like, what is the point of this? There's really no room. If they want to use this kind of abdominal section, the whole diaper piece inside should be hollow, okay? Even though they cut out a bit more plastic compared to, for example, Sagat, the range is still not there. So I hope they figure something out, because this is really not it, okay? Okay, hip joint, drop down, can kick 90 degrees, but have to kick to the side a little bit, right? Back, side, cross leg, pretty much nothing, side swivel, double jointed knee. Knee joint is huge, but at least the range is good, and it is not as ugly as Sagat and Yu-Gi-Oh! Although this can be done much better. Let me give you an example. Because this is a solved problem, okay? Not by 52 Toys, of course, by SH Figure Art, because a lot of figures of their Dragon Ball line has really bulky pants. Take a look at this. The knee joint is not gigantic, and the curve is also more natural. The trick of it is that this type of joint is inserted into the top and the bottom, right? But you can move the peg hole a bit to the back. This is how the 52 Toys and SH Figure has done it, right? Thus, the knee joint will be smaller, and the curve will be more natural. This is not bad, but again, leave some room to be improved, okay? And shin rotation. Ankle go all the way back. That's good. Forward is pretty much nothing again. Why? Rocker. Good ankle rocker. And toe joint. good toe joint, and the Gita is removable. All right, I'll say the articulation is still like not bad, but there's some clear design issue that's throughout the line, which I hope can be solved in the future. Like they already improved the knee, they definitely need to improve the torso. Okay, all right, let's take a look at his accessories. For head, he comes with a yowling head, really well done, but the hairband is still super loose on it, so you have to be careful with it. For hand, you come with a pair of relax hand, a pair of style posing hand, stretching hand, and a pair of claw hand for a fat piece. We got two for his lineman shiver, and we got the typical Stone Arena stand for the line. For the price, it's good enough. Okay, let's take a look at the size comparison. With Amazing Yamaguchi Luke, Stone Arena Nash, Jada Toys Akuma, and Jada Toys T-Hawk. With Stone Arena Baki, 52 Toys Ryu, Twin True Studio Iori Yagami, and Stone Collectible K. With Marvel Legend, Art, UPF, and Mafex. So even though I did nitpick this figure quite a bit during the articulation section, I still think this figure is really good. The aesthetic is what really elevated against its competitors. I think the only figures that can match Stone Arena in terms of finish and the aesthetic are the Lotto toys, and they are a entire different kind of figures. Of course, he still needs to be improved in terms of articulation, and I think a lot of it is not to do with the cost, but rather better engineering. But despite all of that, and he does come with pretty good spread of accessories, it is overall a really nice addition to the Stone Arena line, and it's making me very excited for the upcoming King of Fighter figure, because like I said before, I am a huge fan of King of Fighters. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.